everyone why you wrote into the show.
So I wrote into the Miss JHud show because I came across, as I was looking for tickets, I came across if you're a teacher and you want help, like support. And so I thought, I don't need anything tangible, even though we are a Title I school funded with Title I, we could use some like tangible things, but that is so not what I wanted. I wanted you to just give a word to our kiddos. They face so much.
Right.
After COVID, I don't know how many of you are aware, but in St. Louis, particularly the county areas in July, we were hit with some of the worst flooding we've seen.
Wow.
And those babies who were coming off of COVID and all of the trauma of that, a lot of our kids were displaced.
Yeah.
We have children that are living with relatives. We call that contingency because they are now unhomed or unhoused. And they saw a lot. Those are real life pictures that is not, cropped or media adjusted. And so I just wanted you to just give them a sense of hope and tell them, you know what, you got this, you can do this.
Yes,
that would mean the world to them, just to have somebody say, it got bad, but it gets better.
It does get better, that's for sure. I love the babies too. I do. You're sitting here. Tell us what makes the students so special to you.
So I tell people my students are special because although God gave me one biological child, I have 15 current students. They are my babies. Like whatever they need, if I've got it, I'm gonna give it. If I don't have it, I'm gonna figure out between my family, the school, district, whoever, we're gonna get it for them. They're just my kids. And my daughter knows it, they're my kids on good days or not so good days.
They're still your babies.
They're my babies.
Well, you should give her a hand because you deserve that. Listen, I have to say, you should know the difference that you're making because those are the things, the love and the support that teachers instill in the kids that makes all the difference. So you keep doing what you're doing, keep encouraging those kids because it means everything. How did the battle come about?
So I had all this candy. I didn't want it here. So I took it down there to the cafeteria. And I said, I'm only gonna be here for a second. But when I got there, they were playing games, and one of the faculty members said, can you pick some really cool music? Can you get some music? And I'm like, okay. So they're like, can we have a dance battle? Can we have a dance battle? And I'm like, you wanna have a dance battle? So I'm not one to, turn down a challenge. So I said, okay, let's have a dance battle. Wow. They pulled me in, they drew me in.
Did they know you could dance like that before it started?
I think they knew I could move.
But not like that.
But they didn't know what kinds of moves that I had. They didn't know I was gonna bring it from, the north, south, east, and west.
So what was the reaction of the kids when you bust out with all those moves?
They were like, oh, and the people screaming and the kids were laughing and I blacked out. When he hit me like this.
You blacked out for real?
When he hit me like that.
What happened? What was going to, you blacked out?
I said, oh.
Oh.
I came back and then I just hit it on him. So them screaming, it was, I hit it. Them screaming and doing all the excitement, it just boosted me up. It just got me going. It just took me to the next level. I said it was a cheat code.
See?
For the next level.
That's the effect that the audience get a performer. Remember, I was talking earlier, like when we singing, hit a note. So when you bust that move, it hit you.
Yeah.
And you went into it.
I just went in. I came back like I was, Lil Wayne say, alien. Beyonce say, alien superstar.
Yes.
I'm one of one. Okay.
I love it. And I know them kids love it too. So tell me, what was your response when you realized you went viral?
It was really unexpected. My AP, she was texting me, oh, this thing is gonna go. My son said it's gonna be viral. It's at 24,000. I'm like, okay. I didn't know what viral meant. I thought 50,000. And Friday afternoon, 4 o'clock, it was at 288,000. My principal called me. He's like, oh, God, this person who tweeted you has 1 million followers. By Friday night, it was at 1 million. By Saturday morning, it was at 2 million. Complex retweeted it.
Wow.
Missy Elliott posted it to her story.
Or she did.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm still really I'm humbled by the experience. because it's developed into something more than dancing. So
Wow.
it's been an experience.
Wow. And how long have you been a teacher?
About 23 years.
23
I've been
years.
doing this for about 23 years.
What does it mean to like have an impact? Like it's clear that you have an amazing connection with the
Yeah.
kids. So how does it feel to you, to have such an impact on them?
So I heard you earlier saying how music connects and the dancing connects. It's really about just finding ways to meet your students where they are. So whatever encourages them, whatever connects them, how we can continue to build relationships, it's what I do. That's where my calling is, or my superpower.
I love that,
So
superpower.
it brings joy, I'm with it. If it brings smiling, I'm with it. So I'm always open.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Tatiana Yurahimova. I teach physics at Texas A&M University.
Okay.
And you know what? I love bringing our fun physics demonstrations to places where people already are. So that's perfect. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, thank you for being here. What are we gonna do today?
Okay, are you ready?
I ain't got no choice
This is
but to
our
be.
first
Yes, ma'am.
demonstration. I love it.
Okay.
So this is called potato physics. And I love it because everyone can do it at home. So all you need, you take a potato. And the kitchen knife, that's okay. It's a kitchen knife. We are not in trouble. Let's do it.
Okay, I'm grabbing
You
the
excited?
Yes.
So we insert the tip of this knife into potato.
Okay.
You can do that.
All
A little
the way
bit more.
in?
Yeah, no. That's perfect. That's
That's
perfect.
perfect.
You're doing great.
Okay.
So you see, it's kind of barely holding it.
Yes.
Now, do you have mallet? Yes, you do. So you need to take mallet.
I'm gonna hold it up like this.
Yes, you're holding it like that. And what will we do next? We will hit this handle. What will happen? Okay, so the potato will drop. Here's the table, and everyone will be happy.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Together?
Let's go.
All right.
We hit it.
Ain't nothing happened, Tatiana.
Look at this.
Oh, it's going up.
It's going up.
Ain't that about enough?
It's absolutely
Now, what,
counterintuitive. Why?
Why is it
What's
doing
happening? This is a large, heavy potato. It's inertial. It doesn't have time to move every time when we hit the handle. So the knife goes through the potato. You see?
Yeah.
It's demonstration on inertia, and everyone can do it at home. Now, before you do that, we need to know how to get rid of this potato
Yes.
without injuring your fingers, right? Never ever touch the blade with your fingers when you try to get rid of this potato. Do this. And we are safe. We did it. Almost. Yeah. Let's just hold it like this.
Hold it up.
And do it. Yay! We did it. We did it.
Tell me about your school.
Well, like you said, I'm the principal at Champaign. I'm the principal at Southside Elementary in Champaign, Illinois. I like to call it the Starship.
The Starship.
Yes, I like to call
That's
it the Starship.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay.
And I call it the Starship because our school mascot is the Superstars. So I'd like to call it the Starship because we are navigating, troubled waters and things of that nature.
Yes.
So,
And what do you love most about your job?
I would say the thing I love the most about my job is absolutely working with my students. I never wake up any day and say, man, I got to go to work. I'm like, man, I'm excited to go to work. I get the opportunity
That's
to go
so
to work and work
beautiful.
with my students. So,
That is so awesome. Tell us what made you want to work in education.
so starting up, growing up, education was always the front foot of my household. My dad was always like, you can have all the money in the world, but one thing, it could be taken away from you, but one thing that cannot be taken away from you is your education.
That is-
So it was really, a reflection of not seeing enough black men in the field of education that really made me want to go into the field of education.
What do you think it means to your students for them to see someone that looks like them?
Oh, it's for my students. It's definitely a powerful thing, and it's definitely humbling to me. One of the things that stood out to me was a few years ago. I had one of my black male students, and he just came to me. He said, "Mr. Mahone, you look like me."
Wow, that's
He said,
powerful.
"You understand me, you see me, you value me." And other times where people were often like writing him off, I wasn't the person that did that. And this was when I was still teaching, So at that point, that's when I was like, I have to stay in the field of education because education is definitely hard work. you know, and you don't do it for the pay. Everyone that knows about the field of education, it's not a healthy salary or whatnot. So,
But it should be.
it should be.
It should be.
It absolutely should be. So it's really, you know, getting an opportunity to interact with those kids and the look and the admiration that they have in their eyes when they get a chance to see someone that looks like them and see someone that's been through what they've been through before, you know, and to actually have the opportunity to say, hey, you know, you can also do this as well. You know, because often the times when we have our students, you know, they aspire to be athletes, you know, they aspire to be someone that's a performer. But I'm like, hey, you got someone, why can't you be a principal?
Yes.
Why can't you be a teacher?
You're a great
You know?
example to show them that they can be when they get to see more like that. And I hear you go out of your own pocket to give them what they need. That is amazing.
Oh, yes. You know, that's something that every educator, every teacher, every assistant principal, everyone in the field of education I know that does that. You know, I don't think twice about it at all because I was also one of those kids, you know, who didn't grow up having a lot.
Right.
But my parents always made sure that we had, you know, the basic needs. And I know for a child when they don't have, you know, when they have food insecurity or if they, you know, if they're not looking presentable, they don't feel good about themselves. So I want to be able to offer them opportunities so they can feel important, so they can feel like, okay, when they get that fresh cut, they're like, man, I feel good. I'm drippy, as the kid would say. They drippy.
They drippy?
That's the word
They're
they use
drippy.
now.
I love it. Congratulations being the principal of the school. Tell me, how did that happen?
It's crazy, and it's thank you. I was called on a Wednesday night, 1 week before school started, and our previous principal had left, and they said, we need a principal, and we want you to be that person. And it came out of the blue. It was a complete and total shock and very awe and humbling. Yeah.
Did you think when you started out as a janitor that it would one day lead to this? Was that ever even a thought?
Never. I never would have imagined. Not even in a million years would I have thought, I'm going to be at the school principal here someday. No.
You didn't see it coming. It's just...
No, I didn't even see it coming the week before school started.
Tell me more about when you started as a janitor.
I grew up in the little town of Ione, and I went kindergarten through 8th grade at Ione Elementary School. And it was a great little place to grow up. When I was 20, 21 years old, I had no plans. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And so I got married and I supported my wife. I applied for a job and I became the Ione Elementary School janitor, cleaning the classrooms for the teachers that I grew up with. And so that was very, very weird to be cleaning Mrs. Finch's classroom or Mr. Walsh's classroom.
What inspired you to become a teacher?
Once I started as the janitor, the teachers there noticed how I was interacting with the kids and how the kids kind of gravitated towards me. And after school, I was tutoring them in math. And the teachers kept telling me, you need to become a teacher. You need to go, but these kids need you. And I fought it for a long time. And then my son was born in '96. And when he was 2 years old, I said, you know what? I'm going to do something to show my son. You can, no matter what challenges you face, no matter what obstacles you face, to go accomplish something. Don't be afraid to go out and do it.
How much do they mean to you, the kids?
They are like my own children. I want to be there when they succeed. I want to be there to help them through their struggles.
You are.
And
You are.
my own two children often have said, Dad, it's like I have 500 brothers and sisters. Because I go on bike rides with them and I walk to school with them. It's amazing.
That's so beautiful. Can you tell everyone about your story?
Yeah, I am an AP psychology teacher. I coach varsity volleyball. I'm a mom of 2 beautiful girls, a wife of an amazing husband. And all my life, I was known for my hair. I was known for the beautiful, thick, wavy hair that I always had since I was 5 years old. And then I had our youngest, Maddox, in 2015, May 2015. And in about August, when stress starts to hit us, school, volleyball, life was hitting. I noticed that when I was teaching, my shoulders were covered with hair. And I thought it was normal postpartum hair shed. And then I went to the dermatologist, and the dermatologist said, there's a chance you could have alopecia, and you could lose all your hair.
Wow.
Right.
Did you know what that was?
I had never heard of it before. And then, of course, my mom tells me that she had it when she was growing up for just a little bit. It's an autoimmune disease that attacks your hair follicles and causes your hair to fall out. And then by the, we took family pictures in beginning of November, and by the end of November, I was standing in the shower with my hands full of hair in complete disbelief. Within 3 weeks, 90% of my hair was gone. And this was the only picture that I took.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. It was 90% was gone. And within 6 months, every single hair in my entire body was gone.
How did you face the challenge of that?
As every hair and every strand fell out of my head, I felt as though my identity was being ripped away from me. And it was really difficult. You know, as a woman, we subconsciously connect ourselves to our hair. And with society being surrounded by media and everything, it was difficult. And I always questioned, how am I going to be a mom? Is my husband still going to love me? How are my students going to react to this? How am I going to continue living this way? And it was a difficult storm that I never in a million years ever thought I would ever experience.
And what was your family and your friends' reaction to your condition?
I'm a blessed woman. I have a husband who said, McKenna, it's just hair.
It's beautiful.
And my mom and dad are my rocks. They were and still are my complete support system. I have my beautiful friends, my daughters, who have supported me unconditionally. And I'm very blessed to have that unconditional love in my life that allowed me and gave me the courage and empowered me to get out of bed every single day. You know, because there's no other choice.
Right.
We have
no choice but to keep on going, right?
Correct. You know, we all have a storm.
Yes.
Mine just happens to be visible. And you have two choices. Either allow it to define you or you define it. And I made a decision to define it.
Wow. And I heard you guys been having a hard time during the pandemic, but you still somehow choose to bless others. Tell me about that.
We like to give back and do for others. And being a teacher, that's what I do all the time, give back. And so I had to instill that in my children. And yes, we were faced with a hardship and some trying times, but I had to show them you can bounce back from anything.
Yes.
You work hard and things will come your way.
Yes.
So during that time, they saw the need and they wanted to get back because they felt it. And so that's what we're doing. So we're trying to organize where we can get back to the homeless and make toiletry bags for them for the fall season and blankets and socks.
Wow.
So we're going out in the community.
I love that.
Thank you.
If you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe to the Jennifer Hudson Show YouTube channel. Check your local listings or visit jenniferhudsonshow.com to see when you can watch full episodes in your area. And don't forget to sign up for the newsletter.